Hey, what's up, everybody? I just want to get on here real quick and talk about my thoughts about the whole war that's going on between the USA, Iran, or Iran, and Israel. And just my 2 cents. I'm pretty sure most people feel like we just jumped into this war. We didn't have no real plan, or did we? Well, I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But from the outside looking in, it would appear as though there was no plan. This was something that Netanyahu talked to Trump about, and he was like, "Hey man, look, the time is now. They got nuclear weapons, and it's an imminent threat, bruh. We got to go over there and get them, and we got to do it right now." And Trump was like, "All right, let's do it." Now, it's strange because I think Netanyahu been trying to get every president to attack Iran, like, for decades. But Trump actually did it. And true enough, Iran has always been a threat. I know it's a lot of propaganda, but when you look at it, they are a threat. They don't like Israel. They're trying to, be the dominant power in that region of the world. But we already knew that. Now, when we went through and obliterated everything, hey, they shouldn't have any more problems out of Iran, right? Well, no, actually, Iran has a different type of warfare that they are prepared to have with the United States. And they call it asymmetric war. And I was doing a little bit of research. And evidently the asymmetric type of war is a type of war of attrition. So basically, they'll just keep sending those little cheap ass drones, right, to hit different targets and missiles and stuff like that. And they spent decades and decades just building up these drones and these missiles. And so they keep shooting them, keep shooting them, keep shooting them. Now, we have the technology to be able to shoot these drones out of the sky. But every time we do that, that's like $1 million or something, because we're having to spend all this money just on the interceptor missile. The interceptor is knocking the drones out. But this whole time, we're spending so much money just trying to defend against these little cheap ass drones. It's like trying to throw a football at an airplane. That might not be the best analogy, but you get what I'm saying. No, it's like throwing an airplane at a football. That's what I meant. It becomes expensive. And so Iran is sitting back like, we'll just play the long game. We got plenty of drones. We'll just keep sending them. And eventually, America's going to run out of munitions. We're going to run out of the ability to stop these little cheap ass drones. So what's going to happen then? Well, at that point, the drones are going to start hitting targets. They're already hitting targets, but they're going to start hitting more targets. Different bases and embassies, U.S. embassies, and our allies and friends in the Middle East as well. They're going to start blowing up shit here and there. It won't be no big boom, but it'll just be, like little gnats. Gnats just coming bombing shit, hitting stuff. And then it's going to create a problem in terms of the energy. And that's what I want to get into next. Because the first thing they did was they closed off the Strait of Hormuz. Now, this was something that America and Israel already knew that they were going to do, because they have done plenty of different war games mapping out exactly how this thing was going to go. And they ended up doing what we thought they would do. They closed the Strait of Hormuz. Now, luckily, the United States, as far as I know, we don't have a lot of reliance on the oil that comes through that area. But we do have a lot of reliance on things like fertilizers. That also comes through the Strait of Hormuz. But the rest of the world is hurting right now, especially Asia. The Asian countries, China and all the rest of them, they have like 20% of their energy comes from the Strait of Hormuz. So they're going to have to figure something out quick. Now, they do have, strategic reserves that they can wait this thing out a few months, I'm sure. But there will come a point in time where they're going to be like, hey, bro, this little war between y'all, this is affecting us. A lot of countries are saying, hey, this is impacting us. So basically, the world is starting to turn on us because it's a real impact if they can't get the oil. Now, the question is, why would Iran want to hurt the rest of the world? Well, I guess they're trying to prove a point. Like, look, stop playing with us, man. Just let us do what we do. Stop playing with us. We're in a part of the world where we control the movement of a very valuable energy resource. It's like you closed a little artery or something. Now the blood can't pump properly. So right now, America said, you know what? You want to block the Strait of Hormuz? We gonna create a blockade on your ass. Now, what's a blockade? Well, they basically said, if we can't get none, ain't nothing moving. So they shut the whole thing down. Because what Iran was doing, they were charging a toll. They were making millions and millions of dollars, like to the tune of about $500 million a day or something crazy. Because like I said, China and all these other countries, they still need oil, but they were just letting certain ships come through, right? So now America was like, nah, you ain't finna just get rich off that. We're gonna shut the whole thing down. They created what's called a blockade. So at this point, Iran is like, damn, how long can we do this? Because we do need that oil money. And they did come through and obliterate all of the other stuff we got going on. And then, of course, you got Trump threatening to completely annihilate the civilization. Now, hopefully that doesn't happen, because the first thing I think about is nuclear warheads. Which brings me to my next point. I think we will get to a point where people around the world are going to start feeling the pinch. You'll see energy prices keep going higher. You will see food prices keep going higher. Because again, the fertilizer. Without the fertilizer, what the hell you gonna what you gonna do without the fertilizers? And so around the world, you're gonna start seeing famine. It's gonna get real bad. And it's just sad, man, because it probably won't impact us. Not for a while, because look, America's rich. We're rich. God, people like us, with my little shades and my car, with my nice AC, man, we living good over here, man. We want to continue to increase, but from a world standpoint, we're living quite well. Other places are not living so well, and they on the tip of the edge where they could just fall off. And so I think that this war is going to be what potentially does that. Now, Trump said he was going to get us in and out. He said, look, man, this thing going to take 4 weeks. Right now, it's been about 2 months, I do believe. Now, is it a quagmire yet? Are we just bogged down in there? No, not yet. I don't think. Once we send troops, though, I think that will become a problem, because typically when you send troops, it becomes what's called scope creep. You send a few troops, then you send a few more, you send a few more, and because you sent them, you got to send a few more. And next thing you know, you have way more troops over there than what you thought you had. It's the same thing that happened in Vietnam, the Iraq War, Afghanistan. This has been known. So then it makes you wonder, why would we get in this war in the first place? The American people don't want to get in this war. Congress didn't authorize this war. Trump is just doing things without getting congressional approval. And it's a little bit strange, because aren't you concerned about your approval rating? Evidently not. He's not going to have to run for president again, so he doesn't care about votes. He's probably going to try to be king, guys. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that you better get a garden in the backyard. Better start growing some cucumbers, some kale, some tomatoes, some. Because it's about to get ugly. This is Malcolm. Holla at me. I'm going to holler at you next time. Peace.